Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I have an unboxing of the Spellbinders July Club kits that I am going to be crafting with this month. I haven't received everything just yet, but I'll share what I do already have, and for the things that I haven't received yet, those will just get featured in a separate video. So off the top here is the quick and easy card making kit of the month, and I am going to start to be receiving these, which I think is going to be really fun. I'll do a separate full unboxing of this, but just so that you can get an idea for what is generally included in these kits, there are 8 cards and coordinating envelopes. They are US A2 in size, so that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You get 20 card panels, that's your solid color cardstock. Then there's also some embellishments like enamel dots. You get puffy stickers, chipboard embellishments, pattern paper. Those are going to be 6 by 6 pattern papers. And then there are some die cut ephemera. There's a die cut ephemera pack, sequins, and then you do get some adhesive, a double-sided roll of tape, and as well double-sided adhesive foam squares. So lots of goodies, great for quick crafting, great for if you're traveling, you just want to take a little bit of crafting supplies with you. These are fantastic because you don't have to really bring a lot of other equipment with you. You can, you basically have everything that you need. Maybe you might want to supplement with some additional solid color cardstock, maybe some additional card bases, because there's definitely enough here that you're gonna have more than enough to make the 8 cards and envelopes that have been supplied. And, you know, maybe some additional adhesive, and you don't need much else beyond that. And then the other club kits that I will be crafting with this month are the 3D embossing folder of the month, which I always really love. This is a really gorgeous. We have Christmas in July, so there's a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 embossing folder. It's not a repeat pattern, so everything is unique. It is directional because the ornaments are hanging, so there is that aspect to it, but it's gonna look, I think these baubles, the ornaments are gonna look really fabulous, especially 3D. I think they're gonna probably look very dimensional, so I'm really excited to see how that looks. The difference between a 3D embossing folder versus a regular embossing folder, if you're not already familiar, is that 3D embossing folders have the ability to actually raise your paper to different levels, whereas with a standard embossing folder, your embossed pattern is either going to be kind of at this level, which is the regular level, or it's going to be pushed up, and everything's going to be pushed up to the same level. Whereas with the 3D embossing folders, there can be some curvature, and there can be some like different, you know, dimensions. So it can go from sort of that base level and then curve up and then curve back down to that base level. So it looks more dimensional and can look more rounded. So that's why I'm kind of curious to see how those ornaments turn out. And the nice thing about 3D embossed folders is that the more raised it is, the more it looks like it's closer to us, versus the more sort of flat or shallow something is, the further it looks away. So that's another sort of kind of optical illusion that you can get from a 3D embossing folder. So I got that, which is lovely. I did also get the Glimmer club of the month, and this is pretty cool. It's got a neat shape inside here. So there's sort of a frame design with some of the kind of winter foliage, pine cones, pine needles, and it's sort of in this interesting hexagonal shape. The die, it looks like this die will cut out that aperture inside of that frame. So that's kind of cool. And then there are some sentiments too. So you have Merry Christmas and may all your days be merry and bright. And then there's two dies, coordinating dies to cut out those sentiments. And of course they fit right in here. So that's pretty cool. I like that they provide that inner aperture die, because you could do maybe a shaker out of that, which could be kind of fun. So that's neat. That's the Glimmer of the month. And oh, this is kind of similar. So oh, look at that. Yeah. Let's see. It is pretty similar, but not identical. So that's really cool. This is more of a rectangular frame. This is the clear stamp of the month, which you always have the option to get standalone or with the coordinating dies. Oh, and in this case, the coordinating dies, you have the outside cutting edge and that inner aperture. But you know, this inner aperture piece here, that could be a really nice, just like a label die. If you wanted to use that just as a shape, just as a fun little shape. But it is designed to cut out the inner aperture. And so there's that, and then there's some additional, lots of sentiments and little additional graphics if you want to stamp out, like if you did use this as a label with just that die, you could stamp out your sentiment and even kind of stamp out additional designs as a little border frame. So you can get a little bit of a 2-for-1 here, because if you stamp this out, cut out the inner aperture, you can use that inner aperture on a second card and maybe create a little border design just from these little stamps and the additional sentiments. So you have Merry Christmas is the large one, and then you have and Happy New Year, warm wishes from all of us, from our house to yours. And all of the sentiments and those additional smaller images do have coordinating dies to go with them. So very cool that. Then this is the small die of the month. And oh, that's cute. Cool. Okay, so there's a little banner, fishtail banner die, and you get the word joy. That looks pretty deep, so I think it actually cuts out the letters joy as negative space, but it could just be a debossing. But that deboss would be a very deep deboss. I think that would cut all the way through. That's pretty neat. I like that. Then this, you know what's funny? I wonder if I have dies that I could do this. Whenever I see this shape, I think of a slice of pizza. So I wonder if I have like little, if you remember the truck, there was a collection that had, you could make a ice cream truck, you could make a taco truck, and you could make a pho truck. And there were a bunch of a lot of different kind of food element. I wonder scale wise if it would work here to make a pizza. Like these little flowers could be sausages, I think. These here you could maybe slice up and have it be basil, like if you were doing a margarita pizza or something. Maybe I'm just really hungry. Okay, so what is this really? It is I think it's meant to be sort of a kind of an abstract Christmas tree, almost, 'cause that triangular shape there. And this looks like it cuts out the base of various different floral sprays. and then you can layer these die cuts into those areas. And there are multiple, so you can make like layered flowers, and like poinsettias, I think, are some of these. Maybe those are like Christmas roses, and and you can inlay them, or not inlay, but you can stack them on these areas here, and then kind of form. It's nice that they made the plate, so that if you want to form it back into that tree shape, then you can build it that way. And so you have all the different things, and even the star for the top of the tree. So I think what you would want to do, because I don't see foliage, is that I think you would want to die cut this out of green, so that you have, because there's foliage built into the design, but I don't see individual dies for the foliage. So I think with these the flowers, you would want to actually cut those out of whatever colors you'd like. But this plate here as the base, I think you would want that to be green. If I'm reading that die correctly. I haven't crafted with it yet. So lots of beautiful flowers, lots of 3D flowers that you can create from that. This is the large die of the month, and this one looks like a ton of fun. So we've got this big stocking with different layers, and this is sort of the top, and then you have the patches for the heel and the toe. You have this is the little bit that hangs, that you can hang the stocking on. You have just the top portion of a gnome, so you've got that. He can be kind of hanging out, kind of on top, like he's coming out of the stocking. And then we've got a gingerbread cookie with icing elements to it. All these circles would be different elements for decorating him. Well, there's a lot of circles though. Let's see, because there's only 3 for the body and then 2 more for the eyes. So there's a lot here though. Oh, those I think might be, maybe you can layer here as the holly berries too. Oh, that's kind of cool if it works out that way. There's a lot of details here. Yeah, because there's 2 different types. There is one of the, and they're not perfectly circular, they're not perfectly round. Some of them have a little hole cut out, and then some have just like a little specular highlight. So, and it's 2, 4, 6, there's 8 and 8. So I don't know exactly which go where, but you can kind of mix and match them. I would think that the ones with the holes are the holly berries, but I don't know for certain. But I like that you get so many and you can die cut them all in one pass. You've got your candy cane here, a little spray here with some foliage, your holly berry and leaves. You've got some additional foliage in these 2 die plates. And all of the foliage kind of is reminiscent of each other here, but scale wise, like, you wouldn't be able to take these leaves and put them here, because just scale wise this is larger. But you do have your candy cane, and this die here is for the stripes, so if you want to put the striping in. And then you even have some ornaments here, 2 differently shaped ornaments with, look at all this detail, with the tops of the ornament where it hangs. So you could die cut that out of maybe some mirror cardstock. You even have this little bow here if you want. And with the ornaments, you could even die cut that out of maybe some pattern papers if you want to have like a little bit of a pattern for your ornaments. And then we do get a word die, and this is the word, I believe it's joy. So huge die set, lots of fun. I think what I might do is this stocking is just so cute. So I'll probably it's so hard to decide, but I think I'll go more. It's weird because this is so diverse of a die set because there's some stuff that's like really cutesy, like the stocking and the gnome and the gingerbread, and then there's some imagery that's just very classic, like the foliage. And so it's nice, it kind of spans both sort of styles. You can do a lot with this. So those are some of the July club kits that I have that I will be creating with. I did sign up to be a part of the Better Press Club and as well the Wax Seal Club. I just haven't received those items yet. So when I get those, I will for sure be crafting with them. And of course, I will have my flip video where I make one flat, one layered, one interactive, and one pop-up card. So that will be linked at the end of this video if you want to watch that next. And as well, everything is going to be on my Spellbinders playlist. Club Kits sign up starts on the, I can't remember, it's either the 5th or the 6th of the month. So I like to put these out early just so that you can get a sense for what your club options are to decide if you want to stay subscribed if you're already signed up, or if you want to sign up if you are not already a Club Kit subscriber. If you do see like multiples of these that you like, do check the value club kits because there are a couple different various combinations of some of these different club kits bundled together, and they are going to get you a better price point as opposed to subscribing to each one individually. So definitely check out the value clubs because especially if you see more than one, you might be able to find a better deal that happens to have everything that you want, and then you get it at a better price. And of course, if you want everything, there's the total package club that that has a fair amount, maybe not all of the club kits, but it does have most of them. So, so there's always that as an option too. Okay, so thanks for joining me today, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.